Almost our leadership. Okay? Are we ready? Is this helpful, by the way? I'd love to get feedback. Is this helpful?
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yes. Very helpful.
Okay? The next is called Becoming a Billionaire Land Banker. And this is about how I started my business in what we call land banking. Can anybody tell us the definition of land banking?
Buying land in a place that is not developed and waiting for it to be developed.
Please clap for her. Okay. The excitement she used to describe it. Land banker. It's a land banker. Okay. So, land banking is basically the process of land aggregation for the purpose of development or investment. Basically, like she said, you're buying land in places that will become developed into the future. And the good news with places like Scotland, UK, US is that the city has a map of where they are going. Right? They plan into the future. So land banking is a lot easier in this part of the world than even back in Africa. Because from the city you can know, oh, this is where movement is going, this is where development is going, this is what they're doing, these are the things that are coming into the future that will even grow the value. Right now, I was watching on TV that Taylor Swift coming to Edinburgh, right, alone is going to add, was it 60 million pounds or something? I can't remember the exact figure, into Scotland economy. Yeah? Can you believe that? Right? But land banking here is for you to look into the future. How many of you have been here, at least in the UK, the last 10 years? Can I see you? 10 years. 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. More than 10 years. 10 years and above. A good number of us. Do you agree with me that if some of us have learned about land banking and started investing in certain lands, right, may not even be here in the UK, maybe in the US if UK doesn't work for you, right? It may be in Dubai or somewhere else. But do you agree with me that in 10 years, none of you will have had land less than £1 million in value? That is, you kept doing this small, not even something too elaborate, right? You just, move to areas that you can buy something as low then as £5,000, £10,000, and then you aggregate. Remember, land banking is a process of what? Land aggregation. Basically, I'm buying it gradually, right? For the purpose of development or investment. Development means later I then build houses on it, and either I rent out the houses or I sell the houses, or I just sell the entire land at a higher margin and I move on. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Right? So you can do this back in Africa, where you're from. Again, with caution, you must have good mentorship before doing any of what I'm teaching you. Mentorship is not family members. I hope you do. Come on, talk to me.
Yes.
Right? Because when I say mentorship, what many of you know now is a family member that told you he's going to take you to the king of that area. He knows the king. They will sell the land to you at a cheaper price. Him and the king, it eventually swindle you, and then you are crying foul. When you were buying houses or land or houses here in Scotland, did you call any of your cousins that is also in Scotland that you want to buy a house or land? Answer me now.
No.
Why is it that when you want to do that in Africa, you must call out your village? Because oftentimes, I always tell Africans in diaspora, you're your problem. Right? You're your problem. If relative is asking you for £200, favor, you didn't send it. Only to call that relative and say, I want to buy one £50,000 property. Is you at trust? Go ahead and check it. Do you know how many people send their loved one to us, and the loved one told us and said, this my brother is a wicked one. I asked him to give me money, he refused. I didn't know he's putting his money with you people. If you don't give me 10%, I will tell him you should not buy your land. Now, can we, first of all, can we go and tell, to be honest, so first of all, we can even tell the clients that this is what your relatives said to us. We can't say that. And at the end of the day, sometimes the deal is lost because our integrity is very important to us. Right? If yes, you were the one that brought your cousin or you're entitled to, if it's land, you're entitled to 10% commission in our Nigerian business. If it's house, you're entitled to 5%. But if somebody else brought the person, we can't now eat into the money, right? Just because we want the deal. We often have let deals like that go. And people come back saying that they went to buy from the relative and they were swindled, right? And now they are back to buy from us again. We've heard all manner of stories. But the mistake people make is, why not look for somebody who's already successful in something to mentor you in that thing? Some will say, it's my lawyer. Your lawyer does not even have a property in his own name. And then you're putting all your life in his hands. We just buried my father-in-law. May he so rest in peace. And one of the challenges the family is battling with, even though he's where his assets are. And many of us make those same mistakes. There was one lawyer somewhere he knows, but I mean, if you know that some lawyers, when, God forbid, when you die, if they know your family don't know where your assets is, they take it over. Or you don't. So I have seen all manner when it comes to building wealth amongst Africans, and sometimes I just shake my head. That why do we make these mistakes and we keep making them over and over and over again? Rule 1, have a mentor, that number 1 rule to wealth, that is way richer than you. And let him show you the way. That's number 1. So that you should have somebody that you can go and meet and say, I have £100,000. Where is the best investment you think I can do? I have £1 million. What do you say? And you know the person is way wealthy, so it's not the money you are making that is anything to him or her. Everybody should have such people in their lives. And you may not be connected by blood or anything. I'm a Christian. What's his name? Grant Cardone is white, and he's a Scientologist. So what? I have mentors that are Muslims. So what? Right? What matters is that this person is ahead of me in the area that I am trying to what? To grow. I have some mentors of mine in some areas are younger than I do. So what? I need help. Are we learning at all? Yes. So you have to focus on investing intentionally in real estate, and particularly long-term investment. Look at Kanye West. With all the music, suddenly you see what has happened to him with his music. Some of what Kanye West is boasting of now that is left are some land. At some point, Kanye West started doing land banking. I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah. Right? Those are the things that are left. All the deals, all the, Adidas deal, everything gone. So it is the land that you buy that is really precious. I don't know if you also know that houses don't appreciate, it's land that appreciates. Yeah. Right? It is the land that the house is sitting on that appreciates in value, not the house. In fact, the house loses value, like this is losing value. So when, if you ask quantity surveyor, if they are to evaluate this house, this hotel now, right? They will analyze it lesser than it was 1 year after they built it. But what always go up in value is the land. So usually the building from day one start losing value. It is the land the building is sitting on that has so much value. I remember sending a thing to go and look for a land either in Via or Iko. You want to build a corporate head office. And you need to see some land they sent to me. Some houses they sent to me. So old, but guess what? Our goal is not the house. It's the land. In fact, I intentionally told me, I said, look for old houses. Because what that will do is that I will be able to pay less. They will be bothered about that, the house is old. So they will price it lower. But my goal is to demolish it and build my 20-story corporate head office. Are we learning at all?
Yeah.
So it's always the land that the value goes up. So here in this book, we talked about how do you identify the right land? Whether it's Scotland, whether it's UK, whether location is critical. When it comes to real estate, we want to say location, location, location. Right? So how do you identify the right location to buy properties in? Whether here or whether back in Africa. It doesn't matter. Right? Whatever your faith, I'm no longer in the business of forcing people to invest back in Africa. My own goal is that you must invest wherever you want. To give excuses and say, I don't invest back in Africa, family will end up stealing and then, okay, what have you done here in Scotland? Oyinbo man land. Then you are not serious. Right? You are not serious. Because ultimately, remember what we talked about earlier, you have to take risk when it comes to building wealth. It's a risk that you're taking. Number two, one of amongst other things we discussed in the book is valuation. Okay? Which we talked about. Understand that it is the land that goes in value. I'll give you a practical example so that this class is helpful. When Dangote started, I don't know if you have heard of a place called Ibejileki.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir.
So Ibejileki is in Nigeria. By the way, we have people from other African countries here. So I'm not assuming all of you know anywhere I'm talking about. So Ibejileki is a place in Lagos State, Nigeria, and they had this free trade zone, and the government was planning a seaport in that same area. But as soon as I heard Dangote was building the largest refinery in the world in that particular place, I picked interest. And true story, I remember I started buying my first land, bulk of us. Second, third, I would be doing adverts, telling people to come and invest. I started some of those adverts as low as 1.5 million Nigerian naira. And then people will be telling me, don't believe them. And they will do refineries. They will do, when do they ever do it? It's all talks. And people started mocking. Today is 2019. The same land is going for 45 million. The refinery is completed. The bonus on top, there's a new coastal road, which is the largest express road in the whole of Africa. It's now passing in front of my land. Somebody shout hallelujah. Do you see the advantage of taking risk? Right? Now, all those who mocked me when I was saying, why not invest in this project? They will have still spent their 1.5 million on things that they cannot touch today. I said the power of investment. I took the risk, right? I built portfolio running to millions of dollars with little money paid. So this land banking thing is real. It's my biggest secret because it is what we now did then that we're not able to start expanding internationally. But that was the foundation. Learning a good location, tie it down, leave it for 5 years, sell it times 20 of what I was buying it. Right? Move it again, put it in another place, and keep moving and recycling that process over and over again. None of you can do this. Can you do land banking? Eh? Yes. Okay, will you do land banking?
Yeah.
I started doing
So I know it will still work, but how does inflation affect that?
Well, so inflation, again, land banking is not restricted to Africa. I just shared my
No, even in
experience.
Africa, how do you still? I know it's something you would have looked at, calculated while you're still investing. Okay, we know that a land that just went from 1.5 million to 45 million. What was the earning power then to get that 1.5 million Did it still make sense?
Definitely, let's assume inflation right now. I'll just give you, it's not up to that, but let's say it's 40%. Right? Let's say inflation is 40%. I bought the land 2019, right? For 1.5. That's not what I bought it, but that was what I was selling it then. Okay? So, but let's assume that's how much I bought it. The 2019 to now is 5 years. Is that correct? 5 years?
Yeah.
Good. Now, how many times 1.5 is here? How many times?
30.
30.
Yeah.
So that's 3,000%. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Huh? And inflation is 40%. You don't compare. You can't compare. Real estate is the only one investment that is real. And when we say real, because we need to be careful. There are a lot of other investments that give you good money. Okay? But they are all high risk. There are 3 levels to investment: high risk, mid risk, and low risk. Does that make sense? So in other words, I can make this 1.5 million to 45 million in 1 week trading forex. Does that make sense at all? But guess what? I can lose the entire money in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Called two of us.
True.
Can that happen in land?
No.
You see why we said when you factor in that it is real asset, right? When you factor in whatever happened, your chance of losing, real estate is always way better than any other types of investment, any day, anytime. Okay? Subject to inflation definitely is a function of where you buy and where you buy. So if you live in Scotland and you decide to put your money in Nigeria, for example, right? You can say, oh, the valuation of pounds versus naira. But my argument often, even if that's what you're considering, is always a function of where did you buy. Am I making sense at all? Because if the value of 1.5 million is still not up to 45 million, even if you consider how much pounds was going for that time. So it's ultimately where are you buying, how are you buying it. A lot of us fail to realize that there are some parts of Africa that they sell property in dollars. Ghana now sells houses in dollars, right? Banana Island is in dollars. So again, you see why training and mentorship is really what is more important. Because in the course of training and mentorship, all these are now what you all discuss with your mentor, right? Okay, I'm worried about dollar. Then at that point, we can say, okay, fine, if you don't want, you can do Dubai. I have several of my clients who bought property from us in Dubai at the rate of $250,000. They bought a 2-bedroom, from one of the developers we work with, right? $250,000. Today now, that same property is worth $650,000, right? And the annual rental income on that property is almost $90,000 now. In fact, the Dubai real estate, we're just waiting for when it will bust. Okay? Because the growth of the real estate market in unique locations, so of course you need to know that when you come to any investment is all about, particularly real estate is about location. So don't be surprised in the same Dubai that some location you may buy property and you're even struggling to sell it. Right? It's all about location. But the Dubai real estate market, we're even worried if it won't bust at any time because the rate is jumping. It's even not sensible. And I think what's fueling it is the Gaza war. The Ukraine war started the rise. Because when the Ukraine war started, the Russians came in, Ukrainians came in and started investing. And Russians were buying cash, right? Cash. So when Gaza war came in, a lot of people started moving from Lebanon, and some other of the region. And so it helped the real estate market to keep going on. My argument ultimately, don't be obsessed about, I must invest from where I come from. is one of the biggest misconceptions Africans have, right? Because I'm from, some people do it so bad that it must be their village. Right? Then why are you not living in your village right now? Why did you come to Scotland? If it's all about your village, then stay in your village, grow in your village. Right? So you must be open. You're a global entrepreneur. Right? You know, I will take your question. So you ask again. Right?
I didn't want you to shift away from buying things, just so that I can pick growth. You're giving us very, very valuable information, and I don't want to miss it. So you said that you were thinking that Dubai market might bust.
Yeah.
So are you going to advise buy and sell quick for situations like that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, that's the benefit of mentorship. Dubai, another new, and I think Dubai government is very clever. They know what's going on. I don't know if you are aware the Dubai Sheikh just announced they are about to build the largest airport in the world. Right? So, Dubai government is, I give it to them. Right? They are very clever with these things. I think since 2008 crisis, they understood, you know, what made them to crash, and they are now being conscious, because ultimately the secret to this whole property appreciation is simply population growth. It's as simple as it is. So what Dubai has been doing is to scientifically do things that keep attracting more people to come to Dubai. And the more people are still coming to Dubai, the more guarantee that the value of the real estate will keep going higher, right? So that's why you can't just say, oh, to crash, because the government is also conscious of those things, and they are being scientific about, you know, doing things that keep drawing people to keep coming. I hope this makes sense, right? Okay. Are we learning? Yes. You agree we should have charged for this? So, who will be our accountant to collect everybody's money? Eh? We say money, now everybody gets money. Who will be our accountant? You are fine, we trust you more. Right? So next is called Billionaire Habits for Pastors. So we started all these arguments about religious leaders extorting members. So I decided to write a book to help people of faith. How do you build wealth? If you are rich as a pastor, you won't extort your members. You won't be seeing fake visions. Do you agree with me? Right? And so I shared in this book about 20 things 20 ways pastors can monetize what they do and make legitimate income, right? So that you don't need to play games. Because what I think a lot of followers of religious leaders are frustrated about is the manipulations. And I think Africa, particularly, I can give an example of Nigeria, is not growing because of religious manipulations. Do you agree with me? Yeah. In the South, we have a lot of corrupt pastors who just use religious to extort people. In the northern part of Nigeria, we have the elites using the sheikhs and the imam, they call them ulamas in the northern part of Nigeria, right, to literally keep the people poor. The ulamas tell them that, don't worry, your reward is in heaven, right? And the political leaders continue to, if you go to the north, you may cry about what the northern political elite have done to them. You will cry. Right. Now we're still arguing over in Nigerian parliament. A northern political leader literally was equating a cow to a citizen. Right? But that's what we're talking about. So, if we want change, we must take the change to our religious leaders too. So, in fact, by the way, I have even imams who bought the book, funny enough, right? Because I was a Christian, it's better to write to, because religion is sensitive. What they say, you're insulting other religion. So I wrote to my own constituency. Okay? But the principle are the same. Whether you are Buddhist or atheist, it's just like if you're a religious leader, how do you build your own wealth so that you don't need to be waiting for your followers? Are we together now? And I encourage you, I know many of you, any pastor here, any pastor, so buy it for your pastor. Right? Those who are pastors don't want to make it. So you're a pastor. You're a pastor, right? I know what that means. So, why not, if you are not a pastor, buy it for your pastor. I promise you they will thank you. I can assure you. Right? Because it will go a long way in changing their mindset. And it was forwarded by pastors. And the pastor that forwarded it is a pastor, yet he's a businessman. Right? And he's a billionaire in Ireland. So he's able to really speak to the subject. I've read a lot of other pastors who contributed to him to help, agree that, hey, this is a conversation that needs to be had. Okay? The last but not the least, then we'll take questions. Right? It's called, by the way, each of the book goes for $47 on Amazon. How much is $47 in pounds?
Maybe 30 pounds. Between 30 and 35 pounds.
35 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will do an offer for you guys. I'll allow you have it for 25 pounds each.
Wow.
Then if you're getting the entire 6 copies, you will get it for £100. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the next one is called maximizing your real estate investment. So that's the last, and then we'll move forward. And here, remember the land banking one focuses more on land, how to get good land, how to invest. But this one focuses on property generally. I teach on 7 ways to make money through real estate. 7. So a lot of times people think real estate money is just about building a house or buying land. There's so many other aspects to it. There's so many aspects to real estate investment. And please, let me repeat it. If you take real estate investment, stop thinking locally. Right? Stop thinking Sierra Leone or Nigeria. Do we have Cameroonians here, Ghanaians? Right? Stop thinking your local, think global. Right? You can do business anywhere in the world and you can build real wealth for yourself. I think we'll do that once I wrap up in the year. So, and you can build real wealth for yourself. So here we looked at number 1, long-term investment. Real estate, you have to think long-term. The reason why a lot of people don't make it big time is because they are thinking short-term, right? When it comes to real estate, they're thinking today, but you have to think long-term. I'll give you an example. My children's college, aside that I have insurance for them, which is for their education, but one of the things I did is to start buying land that potentially I will sell when my children are 18. And I started when some of them were 2, 3 years old. Right? Are we learning here? Yes. Right? And there are lands that, in my mind, by the time this child is 18, maybe he now needs to go to Harvard or he needs to go to Yale. I need to raise $150,000, $200,000. Right? But if I sell a lot of these lands by that time, you see, giving a land 18 years, right? And in the right location, right? The same thing you can do for house. Imagine buying a house in the right location, and then you continue to collect both the rental income and you're saving somewhere, and with the goal that 18 years later, you sell the house towards paying your children's school fees. How do you think that's a good way to think? Come on, talk to me.
Yes.
Right? So you have to think long term. A lot of us are looking for opportunity today, make money now, make money. There's nothing about wealth that is short term. Right? Nothing. And when you are wealthy, let me tell you how you know you are wealthy. As soon as you can be richer tomorrow than today, then you're on your way to wealth. Right? By the virtue of the investment I have, I'm going to be more richer next year than today. I'm going to be richer year after than today. I'm not making sense at all. And that's really the journey. You want to begin to invest in things that the value will keep going up and up. But you must think long term. Everybody say long term. Right? How many of you have a 5-year real estate goal? 10-year real estate goal? 20-year real estate goal? Thank you. I love that some of you have that. You must have it. You must think long term, not just all this short time thinking. No. And without a plan, then there's no vision. You have to plan. I'm hoping, forget money. I keep telling you, plan without, ask yourself, if money is not the problem, what will I want to do? How many properties will I want? Right? What will my real estate portfolio look like? And you should plan long term. Our goal as a company is that by the year 2035, we will control $40 billion worth of real estate assets. That's a plan. Now, am I saying that because I have the money? No. But we're planning it. And then we're working towards that particular vision. So you can on your own and say, in the next 5 years, I want to own £2 million worth of real estate assets here in Glasgow. I want to own another 2 million in the UK, in London. I want to own another 2 million in US, another 2 million in Dubai, right? Another maybe 1 million in Nigeria. You must plan these things. One of our clients sent me an Excel sheet yesterday. I was shocked. The guy showed me property he's been buying from our company in the last 5 years. And what he has spent alone is already 200 million naira. When I calculated the capital appreciation, guys, I kid you not, is already valued at 500 million. And he started it 5 years. Right? If I told him, I said, I hope my company has given you a free plot of land. To at least appreciate that you've invested up to 200 million with us. But that's how to, and who knows whether he has other with other companies. But that's how to plan life. Right? 5 years. So, and I was saying, year 1, how much he was able to afford. Year 2, and guess what I noticed? He's been buying more in recent years than when he started. You know why? Try me on this because it happened to me. When you start investing in real estate, you get richer. I don't know how it works. I can't explain it. I honestly, I can't explain it. But what I noticed is that I got richer by the year. I'm not saying richer when I sold the lands I bought years ago. No. By default, I don't know how life did it. I was able to have access to more money. Right? As the year kept moving, I'm able to have access to more money to buy more. And I think it's the universe telling us. Universe means God, Holy Spirit, Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe, right? It's the universe telling us that if you can be faithful in that which is little, more will be given to you. And I've seen many people confirm this with me, that once they started investing in real estate, they started having access to more money to buy more real estate. The thing just kept increasing. So you try it. It's just the discipline to start, right? And just be consistent at it. And you'll be shocked. The universe will gather more money your way. Somehow, you will begin to be in control of more resources. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Diversification. Right? Why put all your eggs in one basket? Why must everything be in land? Or why must everything be in Africa? Or why must everything be in Scotland? Right? Nothing wrong with having something here, having something back in Africa, even if you don't believe you ever go back there. But still have something. You never know. Have something in the US, right? Must you only invest in the country you live in? No. Take diversification, right? One of the best decisions I still keep telling everybody was investing in Dubai. Dubai has its own challenges, but going to Dubai really opened me up to what was possible when it comes to real estate. What was really possible. But that was me stepping outside my comfort zone. Some of us, our problem is that we're thinking local, right? So everybody say this after me. I. Stephen Akintai. Vow to start local or go global. I will no longer think small when it comes to investment. So help me God. Clap for yourself, everybody. Come on. I say clap for yourself. Don't be tired. Clap for yourself. Okay? We need to learn to start valuing ourselves, right? Serenade yourself regularly. Look at the mirror, say good things to you. Right? Wake up and clap for yourself. Sometimes you can tap yourself if that's the way to and say, Stephen, well done. You have tried. Right? Because guess what? When you are in the grave, you're on your own. After we buried my father-in-law 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks or last Friday actually. The Friday before this was yesterday. And we lowered his corpse. 10 minutes after, the DJ started playing. Everybody went to the reception and started eating. My brother whispered to me, when you die, those who will cry, will cry. Whatever happens, life goes on. Tell your neighbor. Yeah, my advice to you. Take care of yourself. Not take care of yourself. Are we together now? Take care of yourself. Life goes on.
Yes.
In fact, I'm not sure I was up to 10 minutes. Before, and people moved on. Right? Of course, my own wife was still crying. All of us are petting her, And that's why my brother said, those who will cry, will cry. But like, whatever happens, life goes on. Life goes on. So, celebrate yourself. Some of you are listening to your enemies too much. What would they say? What do you expect your enemies to say? That you are good. Settle down with those who love you and celebrate each other. Does that make sense, John?
Yes.
Celebrate each other and move on. Because when you are 6 feet below the ground, that goes on. That goes on. Okay, so briefly I'll tell you about what we're doing in the US. Are you excited? Who wants to hear? Okay? Our expansion in the US and how you can be part of it if you want to. So these some properties we're selling at the moment in the state of Alabama. So they are 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. You can buy them, sell them for short lets, rent them out and start earning in dollars. From day one, you already have management in charge who manage the place for you and send your money to you if you want that. And if you want to now put in place your own management, it's your house, right? Once you buy it, it's yours and yours alone. Okay? So once you buy it, it's yours alone. Thought you clap for us. So this is just about our management structure. These are group our CEO, our group COO, GEDs, sales, and our land business coordinators, our housing business coordinators, homes, and these. I don't even like this big. So fun. By the way, this actually looks in real life. It's not Photoshop. So grass is a bit of
It's your money that is speaking.
I'm getting right, so she runs our Dubai business and our secondary market. So houses are already ready and I just paying and move on. She handles that. So we have different CEOs in charge of different subsidiaries. So sometimes when people are on my neck, I say, look, leave me alone. I have a lot of my own. When you have a proper, it's not a one-man business. They are solid people, and average of them, except for our group CEO that joined us last year, average of them have been with us for 5-10 years, and all of that. So loyal, amazing team. So these are US. We have a new CEO resuming in the next couple of weeks for our US business. But these are some of our team in our new project in the US. It's called the Jasper River Smart City. Okay, and there are professionals like you. Funny enough, for this Jasper River Smart City, the four of them we are seeing here are my partners. They all have equity in the business, right? And came together. They're all IT professionals, and they keep making this IT money, doing 2 IT jobs, 5 IT jobs, and they're like, oh no, we are not careful. This IT job will end, and then we look back, we have nothing. And so, decided to trust my leadership and, brought their money, and we're working on this project. And guess what? None of them will make less than $2 million profit. And they didn't even put in up to $200,000 cash. You better have a good partner. Each time we talk, the way they treat me, you know they are really grateful about the opportunity that has come. So have good partners. And it's not everybody that wants to cheat you. Some of us have this mindset. Like, I can't trust anybody. Life is not. And I tell people, if our community don't come together, we are doing ourselves. There are scammers, there are Russians, Italians, there are cooks, and British, there are Arao. Right? Okay? There are bad people everywhere, in every race, in every religion, every culture. Are we together now? The only difference is that some of us hype the bad people and we're silent about the good people. Am I making sense? And that's why it looks as if everybody is bad. Same thing with even wealth. Those who are wealthy amongst us. I mean, my friend always tell me, oh, don't tell me, I don't want people to know me. I don't want, From when he picked me up from the airport, I think almost 200 people have followed him because I tagged him on my page. But my point is that if you have a Nigerian that is doing well, talk about it. That's the only way we now know that this thing is not a stigma. There's no demon somewhere that is just saying Nigerians must be doing bad. Because there are a lot of Nigerians doing well. There are a lot of Ghanaians doing well. There are a lot of black people doing well. But if we don't talk about the ones doing well, it's the day we have the bad one, everybody now starts shouting. We must change that narrative. Do you agree?
Yes.
So I have made up my mind. I will be a positive marketer of good people from my race. And I mean it. And I do it without, I do it not, even if I don't know, if I hear somebody of color is doing well, I talk about it on my page. And I talk about, use my platform to get them to be known. So, because that's the way we can change the perception that black is synonymous to lack or black is synonymous to crime. We must change that. Do we agree?
Yes.
Right? So, we try to do green and smart homes. So our houses are automated, the ones we build, and they are green. Green means renewable energy. We don't use conventional power. We try to generate our light from solar and all that. So here we call it debt syndication. People have always asked me, how do you raise your money? Are you doing drugs? Are you doing... So how we raise our money is very simple. We run something called debt syndication. Debt syndication means people who have known us over the years and trust us invest their money with us. Some do as low as $10,000. Some do $1 million. Some do more. Right? And we then agree that we will be paying you on a yearly basis or every 18 months X amount. Does that make sense? And that's how we raise funds. And why have we continued to grow bigger? We've kept to our word, even in tough economic situations. So we started our syndication about 4 years ago, and you'll be glad to know we did not default once, despite all the experience. I thought you would. So, even somebody was sending me a thank you message. He invested 20 million with us 3 years ago, and the agreement was that we collect the 20 million back 3 years after. In that 3 years, every year he got his profit, and this was the third year he got back his 20 million return. So, and that's why I don't care about negative vibes or anybody saying rubbish about me. That's your business. There are more people benefiting from our company than whoever. When you see people talking, many of them want cover, they never invested. They just what somebody said, that somebody said, that somebody said. And it's a typical African, when somebody is doing well, everybody just, there's something, there must be something. Meanwhile, instead of you to come and ask questions, what exactly are you doing? How are you doing it? I tell people, if you have integrity, Africans will give you their money.
Yeah.
They will give them. It's not all this. I don't have money to start business. It's not true. If you have integrity, people will beg you. Today, I'm the one that rejects money. I can send you up that I rejected in the last 30 days is over $1 million. Right? Someone will say, I must get this return. I say, I'm sorry, we're not a Ponzi scheme. Right? We want your money, we need it, but it's not realistic what you say we should give you back. So we thank you, but I choose my customers. But that's integrity. So please, in building wealth, let's add integrity as a key. Right? It's critical. I was still sharing with our management last week. I said, look, this house, this land, that is not the company. Our word is really the brand. That's the business. It's the what we are trading words. That people can say your word, they can take your word to the bank. Am I making sense to talk? That's really what business is all about. Right? That's really what it's all about. So, okay, let me see whether you guys can. This is just
one thing I want to
a client.
I want to say this evening is that the stars are wonderful. You know, they have this way of prompt response. The moment if you are really being into investment, you know what I'm saying. There's some companies you will send mail to, and you keep reminding them. I just sent mail. You send another mail to remind another mail. You know, but before you drop your phone, a call is being sent across to you, and the matter is being resolved. And it's so amazing. And one thing is that I think one of Dr. Akitayo's investor mentees or whatever, openness, it shows everybody the check. This is the check. This is what we are collecting. So I decided to throw my weight in. I said, and I want to say something. I have no regret doing that.
I thought you would clap for that. Not too many African businesses with their client talk like this. This is not a staff or this is an investor, talking about her experience with the company in one of our dinners. So thank God for what we are building. And I can say this, that it's not just about me, it's that God has helped us with good people who are really committed to what we do. So we are focused on the state of Texas for our expansion in the US. Even though we have in Valdosta, I just showed you Alabama as well, but our concentration is now in Texas. Why? Tax, strong economy. I don't know if you are aware that World Cup is also coming. So I look forward to 2026 because our houses will be ready towards the World Cup season, and hopefully that will also help the value to go up. You see, they are very strategic, right? So, and there are good schools as well, and places. So there's a mistake in the school. That's this VCU is in Richmond, Virginia, not Texas. So this is the latest project. It's a 19 acre, actually 21, but 19 is what we paid for. So it's an estate, You can see there are already houses. So the one after, the one at the back is not the house. So my very good friend, Pastor Larry, has some type of visitors on site. waiting for when my friend will come.
Whether it's going to be very long. I'm in love with the location.
Okay. So 19 acre is by the river. Really lovely. So we're going to be putting a boat club. We're going to be putting a driving range. So you can see how it will look like when we're done. So you have wind pipe and a couple of other stuff. So selling for 600,000 each to 1 million each. And God bless you. So let me take the 3D. These are the look like what we are done. That's the golf range. The golf range is facing the river. Now I like your clap. And like I said, that's the attitude we must build in Africa. Let's support our own. Right? When somebody is doing well, let's clap, let's celebrate. Not gossip. Because typically what we do, hey, can he do it? Hey, that's how you talk. Oh, okay, even if it fails, it's better to attempt than not try. Right? And that's the attitude we Africans need to have. But they say, they are biting too much. That is why we are poor. Because you have to bite more for you to become rich. How do they become rich? You have to bite more than you can chew. Right? I tell people, I say, dream so big that you need God to fulfill it. Right? When your dream is still something you can achieve, there is not big enough. Dream so big that you cry at night and say, God, now only you fear me. Right? Because I need your help. And that's the mindset we must have as a people. So yeah, you are free to invest. We're taking different investors, like I said. It's almost $40 million to complete it. And the value after construction will be $82 million. We're raising just $10 million. We already got pre-approval from an institutional funder giving us 70% of the money that is needed. So we are just raising our own 10 million to match the other one coming. So typically, this is like a table of if you invest X, this is what you get, right? So this is the Naira investment package. This is if you're investing in Naira. And then this is if you're investing in dollars. Your capital has to be with us for 3 years or 6 years, and the returns. Don't worry, you all get it sent to you. Are you registered? If you registered there, you get it sent to you. Even our people will call you as well. Okay. So this is for if you're investing in dollars and your return is 18 months. This one is not 12 months, 18 months return. And to return to anyone, the DHL will send you a check to you and you can cash it when it's due. Okay, so you can transfer to West Fargo or to Zenith Bank. If you want to invest, you can send email. The number is my number and it's a WhatsApp number. Warning. I have the right to respond or not respond to your message. Okay? Because I'm not the CEO of the company, I'm the chairman. Maybe I'm an investor just like you. Right? So if I'm busy playing golf or I'm having a wonderful time with my wife, and then you disturb me. But you want to do business with us, go to our company. There's a difference between Stephen Akitayo and the companies he has invested in. I hope we get that. Right? And I'm saying that intentionally because I've seen situations where people can't separate the two. Right? And knowing that there's a difference between a man and the companies that he I'll give you an example. If you bought Tesla car, can you, because you now have Elon Musk's number, right? And something is wrong with your Tesla, can you chat to Elon Musk and say, this is your Tesla? You know he can sue you, and his own head no correct. If he sue you, so we must, and it's a thing we Africans are not used to, right? We always merge a founder of a business and his business together. Two different people. Okay? But feel free to chat me up. My rule is tell me your full name. Don't tell me Jide. Why? I have so many Jide. And when you chat me, I immediately want to have your full name so I can save it and I can differentiate who. Sometimes I don't write where you are from. Right? So it helps me to convey because I get so many every day. I get more than, and I'm not exaggerating, more than 1,000 messages every day. Right? So if you just chat me randomly and you don't specify who you are, your full name, and I can save it knowing where we met, it makes it difficult to keep. Does that make sense at all? Yeah. So if you're chatting on that number, full name, and I save it, and go straight. Don't say, how are you? How's your wife? You know, just go straight. Download the entire thing. Once I see it, I'll reply. I reply messages fast, as soon as I see it. Right? And I don't ignore messages. Right? But drop it at once. Once they start dragging, how are you? I'm fine. When are you? I just get switched off. Okay, so we're doing a 16th anniversary promo for our Nigerian businesses. So we have estates all over different states in Nigeria. Yes, we're trying to, it was your laptop. We couldn't move the thing. So there's a way you did it. Let you even put it inside. So part of the promo, we have our houses. If you buy a house from us under our 16-year promo, we give you a land worth 10 million for free in another location. Thought you would clap. If you buy up to 6 plots, we'll give you one more plot for free in our 16th year anniversary promo. Then go back to that. Okay, but please, the promo is ending, I think, in the next few days. So you can chat me on that number, and I will send you the details of the office and we'll call you. Okay, did you get value? Yes. Thank you. Okay, I'm willing to take questions if you have them. Also, don't forget, if you're buying any of the book, I would love to sign them for you. You won't know. One day we'll need to meet again. I need to show you the book. They show, see your signature. Right? So, I look forward to signing the books. So, questions?
Can we help people?
Yeah, so we'll take your number. You can't, another person's question cannot trigger your own. So if you really have a question, raise your hand now. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh? Again, please, if you're asking a question, raise your hand again. We just want to be sure. Please, raise your hand again. Don't be afraid, I won't beat you. Some of you have your hand is over in glasses. Right? Yes, raise your hand. You have a question. Raise it. Don't be scared. So, can you count it? Please raise it. We want to count 5 now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Yes.
All right, so thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Akitayo.
Tell us your name.
My name is
your question.
Yeah, so basically,
Your name again, what you do, and your question.
my name is Ibukun Yitala. Yeah, and I work in the healthcare sector here. Right, and I'll try. I mean, I'll visit. I've known you for 16, 17 years now, and I was really surprised. You know, I was telling her earlier because I remember those days in school, as we were selling popcorn, you're doing this and that, and you always told us, "I will make her sure." You know, and it's happened today. So, I mean, thank you for having this chat with us. Well, you were saying something earlier, and you talked about we having mentors, being friends of big people. So here's my question. Are you willing to be friends of some of us that want to be your friend, number one? Number two, of course, you know what I mean? So let me start from there before I go get the golf course, whatever. So secondly, do you have any mentorship that can be affordable? You know, you're saying $20,000 and so that can be affordable for people that really want to, I mean, by virtue of this conversation this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. I love it. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
After OOU. So yes, I mean, like I said earlier, I don't discriminate. Some of the people God has used to bless me in my life were people that didn't look like it when I met them. Right. So when people say they want to connect with me, I'm willing to have that happen. However, it is your job to make it worthwhile. Yeah. Right? So I'll give you an example of what I'm saying. When my friend Mr. Victor said I should come and visit him, I was excited about his house and all of that. I even said we'll come, but he noticed I was dilly-dallying and busy. One of the things he said is that I want to create a business for you in Glasgow so you keep coming back. Right? That's even after I've accepted I was coming. But that's how what rich people think of. I don't know. A rich man is not willing to collect anything for free without giving something back. That's why when you read the book, trust me, you won't have problem figuring out how to connect with me. Or any other rich person. Because it's just, and I shared in the book, even how I connected with people like Cosmos Magical. A lot of very powerful, even Crack, I don't know how I connected with them. A lot of very powerful people that I connected with. Just understanding that, number one, make it worthwhile. Right? What makes you then rich people to take you seriously? It's just that, just make sure you let them know I'm not taking it for granted. I want to make the time to count. I was asking Dr. Cosmo during our podcast 2 weeks ago, I said, why do you hardly say no to me? He said, I said many other things. He said, when I first hosted him to speak for us, so I was shocked when you sent me money. I was laughing at what's this guy trying to prove? He said, and you continue to do it. So at that point, I knew you were after something. There's something in me you wanted, and I knew you'd get it. Is that clear now? Right? Of course, I'm not as rich as Cosmos Monica. But every time he gives me audience, I make sure it's what is what. That's what's the secret. Right? That's just the secret. Because it is between you and another 100 people who want the attention to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And put yourself in their shoe. Who would they concentrate more? Someone that makes you what they want, or the one that just gets the attention and didn't make you what they want. For example, I got some people to volunteer to want to pick me up from the airport. Yes, they want. Thank you for saying that. Even though that wasn't needed at the end of the day, even help us pick up some books. That she reach out and say, you know, I'm an event planner. That's how to get people's attention. I can't forget her now as far as Glasgow is concerned. But it's not money she gave me, right? But if she say, can I, talk to you, I have no choice, right? That I won't be saying, okay, well, I go pay your $20,000 and let's see. Do you see the point? You can always figure out a way to be of value. There are two ways to get a mentor. Either you serve the mentor or you pay the mentor. Right? It starts with a gift. So So if you go to a golf course and you see someone you want to get close to, the next time you're going to the golf course and you know you'll be there, go there with a gift. Right? Go there with a gift. And I promise you, it will give you more time. It will take you more seriously. But that's just how it's done. Okay? Do we have cheaper coaching program? Yes, we do. We have something called the Sinatra University, where my courses, all my live videos, and that of my mentors from Grand Cadron, Kizaki, Les Brown, we've put all of it there. And we would glad to also know, we just apply to NUC to get a university license to turn it to a local university. Yeah, we have that, and it's more affordable. With less than $100, you can get, I think, 3 months access. Right, and you can start when you achieve something with that. You can then come for a further one, and you will have been able to afford it. Make sense?
Yeah. Good to see you again.
Yeah. Same here.
I start listening.
You can see how fine she is. I've done a good job. I've done a good job. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for the knowledge you've imparted on us. Thank you so much, sir.
Are you both related?
No, we're not. We're not. We just met here today, but we just clicked. So thank you again, sir. My name is Grace Modupe Adebayo. I'm a debt manager. So my question is, when you were talking, you said something about the amount of money we have in our accounts is a reflection of thoughts and all of that. But I've always believed in this principle of being savings poor and investment rich. So it means I might not have significant amounts.
Did you take picture from the back? Yeah, go ahead.
So I might not have a significant amount in my account, but investment-wise, if I'm rich, like that's the mindset I have. I just want to, put that side by side by what you said about, the amount you have in your account is a reflection of your. So I just wanted you to balance that.
It could be even assets, right? It's just that sometimes they will not tell you what assets they have. But what we're saying is the average of what is coming or you have or you're making. Like when I gave the example, it was even my friend here that was talking about his income, his company's income at a particular year. And while we were talking at review, I realized that was almost the same amount we were getting to that time. So it's always average. Remember that one now is not what's in the account, just income that the business, it's even business, not even individual. But you will always be average of the people around you. That's why you must intentionally work hard in connecting with people at the top, because you will still not be the average. Does it make sense at all? It's just the way the universe works. I did a podcast a few days ago. One of my first billionaire friend, his father, is into construction, so he took over his father's business. So he had been doing, average of the project 2 billion, 1 point something billion, right? And we got to recount when we met because we've known each other for like 10 years. And guess what? Today, please, who is that? And the funny thing today now is that we both are literally, our income level is average today. Right? Me and the same person. But if I didn't humble myself to be his friend that time and start learning a few things, I won't be where I am today. In fact, now we're the ones about to give him job. Right? So everybody can rise. And that's why I don't underrate anybody. Right? If you're serious about building your wealth, a time can come where you and I can be shoulder to shoulder when it comes to investment and assets that we own. So that's possible for anyone. It's just you believing. Okay, but wealth is not what you keep in your account. In fact, cash is a liability. Because your money, your account, right, is losing. Inflation is on it. So smart people always take money from their account and invest it, because any money you leave in your account has been devalued every 12 months. And guess what? The bankers did not leave your money in their account. What you are saying is digit. The real money, they loan someone else. Do you see the point? So your bank loans somebody else the money, got 15% interest, and they pay you next to zero. Is that wisdom? And then you are glad just seeing your money in their account. Some of you have made all these banks way richer. So you must be bold. You must be bold enough. Are we together now? So invest the money you have saved. Put it to something. Yes. Nice.
He has asked my question.
Next person. So, yes.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Aboye Jamwe, and
What do you do?
I'm an accountant. And my question is one. I just want to ask. I want to use this opportunity that I'm seeing you live to also ask this something that's been troubling my mind for quite a while now. I have an investment back in Nigeria, and it has somewhat appreciated so much. But the challenge for me now is the rates, the exchange rates is dropping so much, and I have plans to also invest here in some real estate deals. But the big challenge for me is, would it be smart to sell in Nigeria now? Because the exchange rates every day, it keeps dropping, and whatever it is that you're getting back is almost not enough sufficient
What
for
kind
you to
of
even.
asset is it?
Is a landed property.
Just land.
Yes,
Where?
it's land in Ago of Cotton, yeah. And it has appreciated so much, and it can give a bit of equity contribution towards sell. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Sell it. And why I say sell it, because our goal is not, I'm not particular about the inflation in Nigeria, I'm particular about the location. Because like I told you, it's like you bought a land in Ikoyi or in Banana Island and you're saying there's inflation. Your appreciation is rising as higher than the inflation in Nigeria in those locations. Are you getting the point now? So the problem is not that you invested in Nigeria, the problem is the location you invested in Nigeria. Some locations are not rising higher than the inflation and the devaluation of the naira, while some locations are rising higher. Right? For example, no other place is good to do real estate like Banana Island. The return is, you can't get that even in US. You won't get it. You've had the most expensive land in the world now is Banana Island. Manhattan does not have land again. They sell floors. Right? In Manhattan, so we have in Manhattan, but they don't have land. In Manhattan, they sell floors. If you want to buy a land in Manhattan, you are buying floors. So you are either buying from 40th floor to the 80th floor. So you go and look for a 40-story building in Manhattan. You buy it, and you give the rents that the person will have been getting for the 5-year duration of the construction of the new 80-story you want to build. You give it to him, and you now start building, demolish and build your 80-story. And then once you are done with the 80-story, he owns 40, you own 40. Right? That's how they buy in Manhattan. And some parts of Nigeria will soon become like that, where, you know, it's flaws. Washington Post report shows that Lagos will be the largest city in the world by the year 2100. Some of you are aware of it. In other words, Washington's, and this is Washington Post, not Lagos Post. US leading newspaper did their research, and it showed that 8th largest city in the world will be Nigeria by the year 2100. Right? And Lagos will be the largest city, bigger than New York, larger in population than Japan. Right? Why do you think the US largest embassy is now in Lagos, being constructed in the Atlantic? They have data we don't have. Many of us keep giving up on our African country, and later we'll come back and say, Woman took over. Right? Well, it's because we are not doing research. Right? Research helps you. All the Western world has been exploited. Their land is gone. There's nothing anymore. Right? Minerals gone. All the resources is still back in Africa. They are not giving back the way they were giving back again. Are we learning at all? Then, how many of you heard Senator Chuck Schumer saying that part of why they opened their border is that Americans were not giving back. They want immigrants to come in to help their population. Who saw it?
Even in the UK.
Yeah? Yeah. All this one that you saw them allow you to come and do masters. None of you come from Africa and collected your money on top, £30,000. You think they were fools? And allowed to come with your children. When they hit a target, they not stop allowing you. But they needed the labor because after Brexit, right, there was an impact. Right? So they needed labor. And it's you people that can give that labor. Modern day slavery. Right? In those days, it is them that came to carry us. Now we're the ones saying, I'm here. Right? I'm here. So, but my argument is, I don't care where you travel to in the world. Don't lose focus of Africa. May your children not curse you because of decisions you are not making today. Right? None of you is expanding the way I'm expanding internationally, but yet I am expanding just like as much in Africa. Right? I'm doing double edge. That's why I talked about diversification. Do both. You have nothing to lose. So even if you don't want to bring it here, sell that place, go and buy a pen. I'm not making sense at all. Or go and buy places that the value, there's still more room to appreciate. That's what you should do. Make sense? Next person.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Adil Sademi, and I'm a business analyst. I came from Edinburgh, actually. Yeah, so my question is, if you were to start all over again, if you were your younger self in, let's say, 2024, and you found yourself in Scotland, and then with the vision you have now, what steps will you take to arrive at where you are now? And then I also found out that you have people around you associate with a lot of people around the world. What are the key things you look at in people before selecting them into your team? Yeah, so those two questions.
Beautiful question, right? I like your questions. Number one, I'll look for the problems they have in Scotland. Where are the problems? Where will the problems also be in the next 10 years, 20 years? A lot of us are focused on the problem today. We need to focus on the problem tomorrow. Right? So I will think into the future. What are the problems that are about to come? What are the problems technology is creating? What problem will AI create that AI cannot solve? Those are the things I will think. And then I will look for a solution to them. Right? For example, if I'm going to do real estate, it's just not going to be real estate the way everybody's doing. What are the issues if there are communal issues? If there are problems with people networking, just like what we're doing now, it's gradually going. People coming together, seeing each other. Are you aware? Some of the younger ones here, they don't date by going to meet a girl and saying, bye, hey, you're fine. Not like, you know, right? Can you marry me? They don't know how to do that. It's on an app. I like you. Yeah, so we built confidence when we're growing up. Guys, because you can go to a girl and say, I like you, and say, I don't like you. Right? And reject you and you move on. So we learn how to deal with rejection. We learn, you don't have all of that now. People can't even look at each other and talk. It's true enough. They can sit beside each other and still be texting each other. Right? So you have to think, what is the implication of these things and how do we solve it? So long-term thinking is what I will do. But number two, I will definitely invest in real estate.
Thank you.
So I want to understand the various real estate challenges in this part of the world, and then how do I supply demand? Right? I am aware residential is still on the rise, right? Commercial is still going down, right? Even where is this called? In London, where is this area called? Where a lot of these banks, Canary Wharf now, they're trying to convert most of Canary Wharf now to residential. Because, you know, people back please want to do something about their headquarters because over 40% of their staff are not willing to leave. So big companies have built all these big high-rise. Are we together now? Nobody is willing to use them anymore, and they're looking for solutions. So that's the way you need to start thinking long-term solutions, right? The last one, what do I look for in people? I look for integrity. Integrity means a lot to me. I look for loyalty. I'm a very loyal person. If I like you, you will know, and I will tell the world. Right? And if I think you do something that I don't like, I'll tell it to your face. Okay? But if you are not loyal and I get to know, you are out. Right? I hate people who are disloyal. I mean, what's the difference between animal and human being? Right? An animal will sleep with his mother, isn't it? An animal will fight his own father, a lion. When a lion wants to take over from his father, is it not to fight his own father? And probably almost kill the dad and send his dad and inherit his dad's wife. That's animal. Humans who don't do that, you know why we don't do that? Loyalty. So when you are not loyal, you're as good as an animal. Okay? I was telling somebody, I said I'm a friend that if you kill somebody today, you have committed murder, and you call me and just the two of us that know, I'll call the police that you have committed murder. I will hire the best lawyer for you, and I will show up in court every day, hoping that you get the best sentence possible. And I'll still let you know I'm not happy that you kissed me. I'll show up, and I'll get you. That's the reality. Reality is not that you don't tell people the truth, but reality is that you have their back, even their worst days. Am I making sense of that? You have their back, even their worst days. That's the reality. And we've lost all of that. This generation, people just do friendship based on, is he raining? Is it that because he's famous, so he's my friend? Or is it because he's rich, so he's my friend? Or is it because, am I making sense of that? So, for me, I go beyond that. Yes, I may be rich, you may be rich, we may be colleagues, and that's why we attracted each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what do I bring extra? What I bring extra is that I am a friend you can count on any day, anytime. Guaranteed. Right? Guaranteed. I'm saying even in death, your family will remember that you had a friend that showed up for you. Right? So for me, that's the way I am. That's what I bring. So I look for people who can do the same. This is important. At my level, it's no longer about money. I'm not making sense of it. It's not. Something happened where one of my very good friends betrayed me and he hurt me so bad. Because he's a guy that one day I was traveling and my wife was complaining, you are going in. You know what I said? I said, my best friend is coming to see you. That's how this is a guy I felt if I died today, he would look after me. And listen, we wish we would live long. Right? But we never know tomorrow. I was at my father's in-law burial, and I was looking at who were those who stood by him. I said, me and his in-law. There were people in his place of work. There was one of them that he literally raised the guy because he was in customs. Right? The man kept talking. At some point that they buy cars together, they do things together, and this man stood. He had another one. That one, because they started fighting about, you know, family issues. He brought everybody together, stood them. Sir, you better start thinking of those who are loyal and go be loyal if you die today. If you don't have such people, you don't have a life. You don't have a life. If you can't have 3, 4, 5 people that can stand by your family if you are no longer there, forget it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That you know, right? That you have sense, they will stand for your family. Because we never know. We all want to live long. I want to do 120. Right? That's my prayer. But I'm now valuing the place of loyalty. It means a lot. It means a lot. And I encourage you to do the same. When all of you are poor, loyalty is easy. Become rich. Yes.
Thank you so much for this session. I actually came in very late because I honestly didn't know about it. I just opened my Instagram and saw a sponsored ad and I hopped in a taxi because I live 5 minutes away and just came in. So I really don't have a background a lot on what's happening, but it just looks like an investment opportunity I'm interested in. So I'm a senior associate with an investment bank over here and I really love what I do. So that's my 9 to 5 daily. And every weekend I work on my renewable energy startup company. But I'm very interested in your story. Like at the beginning of when you hopped into business. So the renewable energy startup actually started like 3 years ago, but fully got registered just last year and we're just kicking off fully. Sometimes I'm torn between enjoying my job, which I really love because it's very people facing. I lead teams in the software engineering project and all of that, so I enjoy that. And also, really growing the business, I want to do both. Do you think it's feasible? Like when you started, did you have the safety net of a job? Or did you throw yourself fully into entrepreneurship? I want to do both. Like I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to be an industry leader in investment banking, so I want to grow my career there as well. Does it sound feasible? Also, I'm interested in the Texas project you're on and how renewable energy can support that. Because housing and energy right now, renewable energy are going hand in hand. So I'm very interested in that. If you can just give a little bit overview of what's the plan for that and how, as a renewable energy professional, to be honest, we're just kicking off. So I don't even mind just being part of the team and volunteering or supporting how the team comes up with the renewable energy plan for that. I'm not trying to look for a big business contract, we're just kicking off, but I want to learn how that's going to help in the development of that city. And so those are my 2 major questions. I want to grow in my industry and I also want to be an amazing entrepreneur in renewable energy, and I want to be part of that project in the renewable energy aspect.
Well, so if you look at the project, you see that all the rooftop have solar panels. So that's how we're generating energy. And you can see the wind turbine there as well. So that's how we're generating. Of course, US has a lot of solar companies who do supplies and who install all of this. And there's a lot of funding for even that. Yes, volunteering, you can work with the design team and project management team will get to that phase. But it's just more of just watching what they're doing now, just watching the process. Yes, you can volunteer. You have the number to chat me up, I'll link you up with the team. Combining your career and your business. Well, you have 2 options. You can get a CEO to run your renewable energy business for you, right? We all know this cash flow quadrant, isn't it? Mm-hmm. This E, this S, this is B, and this is what? I. So what will have happened, I will have asked you to quit your job if you have done enough of this. That's why we keep talking about investment. Right? You have done enough investment that what comes from this, we call it passive income. That's why the training today was about passive income. So these are the only 2 places where you have passive income. So today now, GTEX is able to give me enough passive income, isn't it? Because of my equity in the company. Does that make sense? Or I just invest in another person's company that I know he knows what he's doing, and then I still get passive income from what they do. Now, if I can get more than what they pay me here, then I can resign here, right, and come here. Because what you are doing now is called self-employment. Does that make sense to do? But I'm not sure you've done enough for you to be able to resign here and then come here. So what you are trying to do is these. I guess the danger. Both are active income. Nobody become rich here. People only become rich here and here. Does it make sense, John? So a lot of people don't know why I grew our company, costing us a lot of money just to make sure the company can run without me. And the reason is simply because the company will not start giving me passive income until it can run without me. If I'm still in it today, I leave. One house, please. One house. It means the day I leave, what happened? The company collapse and there's nothing. So no matter how successful your business is, if it's still self-employed, it's still not the source of financial freedom. The ultimate source of financial freedom is that you have a source of income that does not need your time. That's how you become rich. I have a source of income with of that my time, it's bringing money consistently. It makes sense. So the two will not deliver you. You see? So my advice, rush and be here and have enough of this than what you're getting, and you can resign and face it. But in the meantime, get a CEO for this place here. Okay? Even if it's an acting capacity, and then be part of the team to continue to help the vision. And maybe one day you are able to, it's not big enough to pay you, then you can resign and you'll be working here. Okay? Or one day you've invested enough that it's paying you more than this and you resign to be here. But ultimately, this will still take years. It's taking me 16 years to try and move it here. And there's still a lot I'm still doing to still make sure this is sustainable. Right? So moving your business from startup to becoming a big business with a system, leveraging an OPM, OPT, it takes some years. Make sense? Do you have a solution?
Yes, sir.
You're sure?
Thank you, sir.
Have I tried, guys? Mr. Victor, are you happy? Did I do a good job? Because you are the one that
You always Doctor, I've not asked my own question, right?
Oh, I thought you had.
No.
Quickly.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Kamal Lawa, and I'm IT security consultant. I live in a small village called Kiwanok. Yes, so my question is more around my thoughts, my thinking. Yeah, I wouldn't expect to answer all anyway. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind now is where do I start from and when should I start? First question I'm asking myself. Second I'm looking at is I'm trying to also thinking your upbringing. How do you start from putting plans together? Where did the thought comes about? Considering the environment we grow in Africa, we have the cultural obstacles, we have the religious obstacles, telling you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So at what point did you say, okay, no, I want to overcome this obstacle and move forward and start growing? I'll share. I'm also happy you said there's a book that's made for the pastor, not for the whole mass, as you mentioned. I'm struggling between some thought of the religious belief. Like, I'm looking at getting a mortgage, they tell me you can't go for loan because it's un-Islamic and stuff like that. So are you also looking to put something together for the ulamas as well to say, okay, we need just to grow, we need to be rich, really?
I think the person you should talk to is our group CEO, because I had the same conversation with him. Right? He's a Muslim. I think you should put together an halal investment, right? The concept of halal simply means instead of fixed return, right, is not fixed, right? Rather, we have agreement on the profit or the loss. So if we eventually make profit, if my equity contribution is 20%, I get 20%. Abi? And if we lose, then we lost. So, and that even works for me because all my investors in the last 4 years, it's not all the businesses that work, but we just did everything to pay them because your word is your bond. So I've told him I'm looking forward to his report because I believe being that he's a Muslim, he will understand all the elements. So and he's an investment banker for 20 something years. So let's hope we come up with an halal investment that fits you. But back to the conversation around yeah. People are negotiating. So I have a deal of if you get the 6 books instead of 25 pounds each, you pay 100 pounds. And then I heard someone like negotiating 3 I just don't want I would reluctantly approve, but I didn't expect such. But here's what I will do. For those of you who buy the 6, I will have my team, I'll give you the audio version and the video version for free. Even that is over $300 or something. You're getting that free if you're buying the entire 6 books. Another thing I'm doing for those of you who are buying the entire 6 is also give you 1 month access to the Student University, both for $247. You'll be able to watch all my video content, Brown Cardones, Brown, Tracy, all these amazing work. So you're getting another extra $600 or so for free if you're getting all the 5 books. Okay, so I'm giving you that opportunity.
What if I put one of books on Kindle already?
You bought it on Kindle already.
Yeah.
And you
I'll
have
show
it
you.
here.
Yeah, what happens?
I will sign them for you.
On Kindle.
Eh?
What if I have it on my Kindle? Soft copies, yeah. Because when you started talking, I started buying some on Kindle.
They pay to you. If you want to pay, you can pay to our transfer to our account. You will sort it out.
Because as you were introducing the book, I was buying some soft copies as you were talking.
Well, unfortunately, the deal is on the hard copy. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But we have hard negotiators. Mr. Victor, you didn't tell me. When we are now buying land, what will happen? No problem. So, I will, you can go with all this. I have. So the answer to your question ultimately is training, right? Those are you listening to me? If you read the book, for example, that's why we don't make money from books. All these books now, we buy them from Amazon, spend money to bring them. It's not that we make money. If you calculate what it costs me to be in Glasgow, I will tell you because of this venue. After selling all the books, it does not cover it. Right? So we're not here to make money from books. We don't make money from books. Because even what we make from coaching and all that still goes into that's what we use to do charity, grants, so. But why I do books is because my book will teach you more than you and I can discuss in 3 hours. Because our average book has content that it's a whole life journey. I don't know that it makes sense. And then my book can be with you after me and long gone physically, right? When you read a man's book, right, you're having a mental intercourse with that man. Does that make sense? Because your brain is mixing up with his own brain, and you're beginning to change your reasoning, your thinking into that. So if you read some of the books like Billionaire Habits, you understand how to handle family issues. When I just took my dad to Jordan, and the entire family, I sponsored everybody in my family to Jordan before on vacation. Bought him a house, bought him a car. Yeah, let me go to Apple and I'll start signing. So I'm ready to sign for him. And I remember the same father that I built a house for bought a car, sent him on vacation. Same father, just a few years ago, was disturbing me to increase his allowance from 10,000 to more than that. Even harassing me that he had borrowed money from neighbors. Thank you, sir. He had borrowed money from neighbors and and all of that. That some of those neighbors even know me, they see me on social media. And I looked at him to the face and I told him, first of all, from my own Bible, a good man leaves an inheritance of his children. Right? If I were to go by Bible, it's you that should give him this. Right? 2, I am the one that know myself. I can give you what I can afford. As for where I am, it is this 10,000 I can give you every month. Today, years later, because I stuck to my principle, I have been able to give you a better life. Am I making sense to talk? But if I have allowed, they call it black tax and emotional sabotage to make me to eat into my capital then when business is still small, right? Both of us will be broke today. My business will have crashed because I was trying to, poor people buy what they don't need to impress people that don't care. Because I'm trying to impress him. The business will have been dead. He will see me struggling, I'm struggling. Right? But if you read the book, I'll tell you how I manage him till today now, where he still makes those demands, but I'm in a position to fulfill most of them. Does it make sense? So you have to manage family. There are times where you may even need to withdraw, right? Just to build something for yourself. After that, you build something, you can then go back to them. But it's a whole different ballgame. But you need some constant reading from people who have done it to convince yourself. Because if you play emotional games, I raised you, and your father, and your mother, and your this, and a lot of people have never built anything for themselves because of all these family manipulations. I hope I answered.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody. Glasgow. Okay. It's good to hear Mr. Victor who brought me. Can we clap for him, please?
I think I want to give a vote of thanks to my wonderful friend, Dr. Stevens. I've known him now for quite some time, and sometimes it's not easy having very influential friends that are sometimes controversial. Because some of his views online, it's either you love him or hate him. There is no middle way. And he's an amazing person, an amazing father, amazing husband. Sometimes when you're close to people like this, it's very easy to take them for granted. Because I've heard him like several times. And every time I sit down under his teachings, I still pick one of the things. I remember the first time I heard the land banking thing from him. I don't believe in real estate because I've always said, if I'm buying a house, I'm buying it because it's another luxury item I'm buying. So he's always tried to convince me, why don't you just do real estate? I said, okay. I think he finally convinced me to buy, about 100 plots of land in it, right? Waiting for you to appreciate someday.
When people are big, they don't do it. Come for him.
I mean, it's small compared to what he's done. And then, so I learned that from him. And recently they were telling me that, that stuff you bought for 100 million is now worth about 300 million. I said, okay, let's keep rising. It's not and I think that's something I learned from him because a lot of people have what we call, passive funds here and there. I'm very risk averse. Not a lot of people, are like me.
I think the first time somebody said, oh, why don't you invest this in crypto? I think I bought some Bitcoin when it was around $2,000. And I bought about $3,000 and I can't find the wallet anymore. I mean, I just forgot the the wallet ID. And I've tried everything. I mean, this was like 12 years back.
Wow.
I'm sure it's worth something now. So I think I'm risk averse, but he's always pushing to say, Victor, you can do this, let's try this, let's do that. And I want to thank you for especially coming to Glasgow, because I've tried to convince all my rich friends come to Glasgow. They always say Glasgow is too small. What are you looking for there? And then me, I love Glasgow. I lived 2 years in London, 12 years in Dubai. I love Glasgow. And clap for yourself, Glasgow people are amazing. One of the things I found when I came was that a lot of people are working. We don't have a lot of entrepreneurs. He knows my circle of friends. I have a friend who runs one of the biggest restaurants in the world, Enish restaurant. My very close friend. Him and a couple of other guys who are doing fantastically well. But coming here, I'm trying to, because I pick my network. And somebody was asking something about mentorship. I try to mentor people. The greatest problem I have about mentoring people is they meet you. In the next 5 sentences, you want to ask, how much can you invest? People are looking for investment. I'm like, listen, I'm not a bank. You need money, approach the bank. So a lot of people don't even take the time to want to learn. You feed them lessons, you teach them, and once you can give them money, they say you are useless to them. And I think that's one lesson I want to correct. This is something which is very profound, that you can either give back to your mentor, either by even giving them money. I don't need people's money. Or by serving them. People don't even want to do that service. That's something of which, I picked from what he said. I picked somebody, a mentor. I have people, that mentor me in, I'm in education. This is my school. I wear my bag all the time. I run a college, an online college, EdTech college, almost like a university. And when I started the business, I looked for who is the biggest, in the business in the UK then. His name is John Olden. The man is almost 80 years old now. He started a college then called RDI, which is now Harding University. And I saw the amazing thing he's done. And I started telling him, how can I be of help in Africa? And the interesting thing is that he kept saying, what is the need for you? And white people just don't trust you, even when you want to do it for free. So he kept asking, what is the need for you? What do you want to get? I'm like, no, I can do this for you in Africa, I can do this for you. Anyway, eventually he allowed me to be of service to him, to see how we can work together. And I always say that white people too, the first person that duped me $200,000 was a white man. It wasn't even the black man. White people too dupe people. But then interesting, so I pick a mentor, somebody to, aspire after, that this is what I want to become. And somebody has said that, how did you have the knowledge of starting a university? We have a university, an EdTech college that has about 700,000 students. And in Nigerian started EdTech startup that only have 5% Nigerian market. And people have always asked that question like, why did you think international? Because a lot of people that are trying to go into this business are always doing it locally. And one of the things that I said was that when I went into education business, the first people I worked with was the University of Huddersfield. And I remember sitting down in their faculty meetings, and every other person that I ever worked with them from Africa, they want to be agents. And I always rejected that title, agents. I don't want to be an agent. So, but after sitting and rubbing mind with them, I'm like, these are human beings. We can do this. We can have our own universities. And that was the mentality which we started with. I just want to encourage us that thing is said about mentorship, looking for people to aspire, up to. That's something which is very, very profound. It's not every relationship that is about money. When people ask me about money, it rubs me off. And let me use a very vulgar term. I know I'm online. He's always sharing this online. It's like a man meeting a woman for the first time, and the first thing she's saying is money. Or maybe a woman meeting a man, vice versa, because it's not just one way around. And the first person is talking about is money. It picks you off. When is the space for real relationship, real connection? And that's what mentorship. You can't get money from someone you just meet in one day. It doesn't work like that. You get money from people that knows you I mean, there was a picture that I saw of Obasanjo and all those guys. They've known each other for years. All these Jimovia, all these guys, they've been friends for years. Those are the people that find it very easy to release money to. So I want to thank Dr. Stevens, and I want you to put your hands together. And I want you guys to beg you to come back again.
When I'm coming back again.
Thank you so much.
Please, if you buy the book, bring it and sign it, and we'll take pictures. Okay? At least tell everybody, at least I've taken picture of millionaires. And I've bought the book. Yeah, the book. We have some from Zimbabwe, we have
Ask him to let me know when to end the live. This section, we study this section, that's why I'm live.
Wow, I hope you guys got value. Feel free to call the number +234 8100000618 or send a DM if you want the books, okay? Thank you for listening. We've had a great time here in Glasgow. Love you all, and bye-bye.